Hi campers. So today I want to give you a couple of tools, powerful tools and techniques. I believe I have about 10 that can help you on a journey of healing if you identify with divine journey, twin flame journey. This may be a long video. I'm not gonna be trying to slow myself down because I want to make sure that I will cover everything, so it might have 2 or 3 parts, but I want to be really thorough because those are important, and those will serve, I believe, you on any stage of the journey, and they will serve you whether you're masculine or feminine. If they are a little bit different, I will dive into the details as I talk about every point. So number 1 tool is to completely release the runner and chaser dynamics, because it is an illusion. Just like separation is an illusion because you are one and you're always connected, runner and chaser dynamics is an illusion. Why? It's because there's a point of your journey when you understand that you are one, that you are equals, you just operate in a different dimension, and you are feminine and masculine, so some things are different for you, right? But when the masculine runs away in the physical, right, in the 3D, so he ghosts the feminine, he disappears from the life of the feminine, he doesn't respond to messages, he's not present, gone under a rock in the 3D life, it's because he operates in the 3D, so the expression of him happens in the 3D, but the reason he's running away is linked directly to the fact that the feminine is also running away from something in the 5D. So subconsciously, whether you know it or not, there is something within you, some part of you that you're running away from, that you're rejecting, you're not accepting, you're not trying to heal, you're not trying to process, right? So when he sees you, his subconscious mind does not see the authentic you, so he runs away because he's mirroring the fact that you are running away from something, whether you know it or not, in the 5D. Number 2 is release the labels, right? Avoidant, anxious, narcissist, a runner, chaser, release it all. Again, you are equals, and pointing fingers towards the other person will never serve a purpose, right? So it doesn't really matter. I sometimes in my videos, right, and in my readings also use those terms, right? So I would say that someone is a bit of a runner, and that runner energy, right? Or that someone is has a bit of avoidant traits, right? It's good to know those things in a sense of it helps us to understand human nature, and we'll get to that in a moment. It's one of my points that you actually have to dive a little bit deeper into human nature and human psychology to understand those concepts. But what I'm referring to is you have to release those labels and attaching those labels to yourself and to your counterpart. So it doesn't really matter who's avoidant, who's anxious, who's runner, who's chaser, because at one point of a journey, in one shape or form, you're both that. Again, if your masculine is running away in the physical, is showing traits of avoidance in the physical, it's because in the 5D internally, you as a feminine are avoiding certain parts of you, or certain parts of you are not yet integrated properly into your psyche. They're not yet properly healed, right? So it's just a matter of how we look at things. Again, you are always one. So I find that it's very helpful to release those labels, especially that, again, when we use them in a conversation to try to understand something, it's okay, right? So we're trying to understand, let's say, avoidance. We're trying to understand avoidant traits. We're trying to understand where they come from. we're doing the shadow work, we're doing the healing work, it's okay. But when you point fingers at your counterpart saying, but you're just anxious, you're just avoidant, you're just chasing me, you're just a runner, you're just a narcissist, da 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 da, release that. You are one. Whatever you're seeing in them exists in you on some level. It's a very powerful connection. So pointing fingers serves no purpose, and it's given in the beginning of the journey to us all. But the sooner you stop attaching those labels to them and just seeing them as another soul, another human being who went through different kind of traumas, and it's just on their healing, on their journey of healing, just as you are, trying their very best, it will be so much easier. Next technique is what I call the why, the big why, which is actually the healing journey, the healing process, the shadow work. It's the constant attempt to be mindful and to contemplate on everything that is happening externally in order to understand that everything is happening for a reason. So as you go about your day, and again, this is how I do shadow work, this is how I teach to heal to every person, to learn to self-regulate. Ask the question why. Whatever happens in your day, by the end of the day, just try to contemplate, be mindful, analyze what has happened, what emotion, whatever situation, whatever person came across you, whether it's a complete stranger, a random situation, someone who's close to you, someone you love, what emotions they're causing within you, in order for you to be able to understand where those emotions are coming from, right? So the why am I feeling like this? Why is this person triggering me? Why is this person causing sadness within me? Why is this person causing anger within me? Why am I lacking patience in the situation? And going deeper, 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 deeper and deeper. This is the healing journey. This is the shadow work. Those going back to my previous point, this is where you also educate yourself on the human nature, right? On the mechanisms of human psychology, how we operate, to truly understand where things that are happening within you are coming from. This is how you teach yourself to self-regulate and to ease your body, so your subconscious mind can release more and more information, so you can connect to your soul, to your inner guru, however you call it, more and more and more. The physical vessel that we live in, the body, is where all the blockers live, all the traumas, all the triggers, all the stoppers, all the limitations, right? So the more we understand where they're truly coming from, the more we understand that this is just a unit, and the unit sometimes gets overwhelmed, then us as a soul, we need to take a step back, take a look at it, and truly understand where is this coming from, to be able to self-regulate and to enter this relaxed state where we're not consciously triggered, where we're not constantly triggered, when we're not constantly nervous, anxious, avoidant, blocking those emotions from us. We have this true calmness and understanding of our individual path and our individual reactions to everything that is happening around us. And as you do the shadow work, you integrate those shadows within you. You understand them. You learn to love them. You do the healing work, right? You do the shadow work. Your body enters the state of relaxation, the state of mindfulness, the state of understanding. And as you do that, we always say we work with layers. Your subconscious mind can release more and more information to you, go deeper and deeper and deeper, and push you on your journey. So be very mindful on this journey, and be very self-conscious, and contemplate on your behavior all the time. Point number 4 is accepting that it is a long journey, and there are 2 reasons for that. Reason number 1 is the point number 3 that I just mentioned in previous part, right? So as you start contemplating and being mindful 24/7, right? You literally go to bed every day and you analyze your day, every emotion, every situation. Why am I feeling like this? Why did I react this way? What is it still that is there to heal? You go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. This alertness, this to everything that is happening, this constant mindfulness slows down the perception of time. I always say those are dog years, right? Because whenever people say that, oh my God, time passes by, it's just another year, another summer, another Christmas, to me it would feel as it was 4 years ago or 5 years ago. So when you're on this journey of healing, and again, it's just constant contemplation on what's going on within me to heal that, to address this, to process it, to release it, to understand it, the perception of time slows down. That's why sometimes when we are in this period of separation, we haven't seen, let's say, your divine counterpart, you haven't seen them in 1 year or 2 years. It literally feels like 10. You've met them 4 or 5 years ago. It feels like it was 50 because time really slows down. So it's one reason it will feel like a very long journey from where you stand. And the next thing is that it will actually be a long journey. Separation has to be, on an average, around 3 years. It depends, again, it's very individual, it depends on your journey. We should never compare with other pairings, and I talk about this all the time, always as well. So stop comparing. But why is it so long? Because imagine that your body is a machine, is a computer, and it's been programmed to whatever society, this world, the world we live in, your family, everything around you from childhood, including your traumas, including your triggers. It programmed you to a certain way of living and way of functioning. And in order to get into inner union and then one day into a union with your twin, you need a complete system reboot. And because it is a complicated system, it takes a long time. Imagine restarting a supercomputer, right? And our brain is very powerful when it comes to our conscious mind, subconscious mind, storing information, understanding how it functions. As human beings, we don't understand fully how our brain functions. And on this journey, you need to reboot it and reprogram it to what's in line with your divine mission. So it simply takes time. The sooner you understand it, the sooner you start being patient with yourself and kind with yourself, instead of just being mad at yourself saying, oh my God, why is it taking so long for me to understand and to heal? But it's okay. It's okay. It is difficult. We all have our own pace that we should accept. And again, this is why you shouldn't be comparing. It depends on you as an individual. It depends on how you dedicate yourself to that healing journey, right? How you surrender to the journey, surrender to the divine, surrender to the destiny, surrender to the guidance. It is very individual, but you have to release how you understand time, again, because it is part of the program. Next point, number 5, is actually a consequence of the previous one. We're kind of going to be going like linking the points right now because they're all very interconnected. So number 5 is what you can do is to meditate a lot, to take care of your body, to grow a beautiful connection with your body, that mind, soul, body connection, to understand that your body is a vessel, to have a routine that actually helps your body and promotes from a physical point of view that self-regulating healing process, right? Again, so meditation, exercise, spending time in nature, grounding, eating what you feel is good for your body, releasing addictions, whether that's substances or addictions to food or to certain behaviors, making sure that you rest, making sure that you cultivate that relationship with your body, and that you truly start to love your body, because it's going to be a very important element in the authenticity, that it's also an important tool to get there, right? Of course, you should accept that there is no there, and life is about the journey, not about the destination, but you know what I mean. So really, really, really focus on nurturing your body and understanding that it's a very important element on your journey of life. Without your body, you wouldn't be able to live this human experience, and if you nurture it properly, it will allow you to better connect to your inner guru, to better connect to the divine, again, through exercise, meditation, mindfulness, proper nurturing, rest, so on and so forth, right? Point number 6 is focus on you, and I'm sure you've heard that many times if you are on a journey, but what I actually mean is not necessarily in this like, me, I'm important on this journey, the other person doesn't matter, but what I mean and how I like to explain this is focus on your part, right? You are one and you are equals, but you all have your individual element of the journey that you need to work on. The masculine has the masculine energy that he needs to heal. Thus, he operates in the 3D, and he will go through his journey on a 3D physical level. The feminine needs to learn to embody the feminine energy, and you need to heal and go through this process and through this journey on a 5D level. So it's very important for the two, as you go about your journey, to focus on your part. So the masculine 3D, fix your world, fix your understanding of abundance, make sure you heal the space of the physical chakras, especially because those are vulnerable for the masculines, for any kind of imbalance, for any kind of issue, right? So the sense of security, the sense of masculinity, the understanding of abundance, the understanding of your sexuality, again, treating your body as a vessel. So work on those 3 physical bottom chakras, whereas the feminine should focus on the 5D, on the inner world, on the connection to the divine, on the connection to the void. And when you are whole in your spiritual and your physical realm, you'll be able to connect through the bridge of the heart, right? So focus on your part and on your dimension. And that takes us to point number 7, which is understanding fully the masculine and the feminine energy, because I believe that the core mission of twin flames in this planet, in this world, is to heal the imbalance in this world and the improper and wounded understanding of the feminine and the masculine energy. None is superior or inferior to the other. They're just different. They have different mission. I love to use this analogy of caveman for that particular point, right? So being in your feminine energy, imagine that you are that female that lives in the cave. The cave is your feminine space, is your internal world, the world of the queen, the 5D world, the world where the portal, your womb, to connect you to the void and to the divine is being guarded and protected and nourished, right? So you just sit there. You do not leave the cave. Whatever is outside of the cave, it is the 3D world that is a dominion of the masculine. So you sit in your cave. Your job, equally as important as the job of your masculine, is to sit in your cave, to make sure that everything that he brings in is turned into something valuable, is regulated, is being cared for, is being valued. You care of the world of nurturing, of emotions, of processing everything that comes from the outside. It's like you're the gatekeeper to the portal, and in order to be that gatekeeper, you have to sit in stillness, you have to sit in your feminine energy, you have to make sure that the vessel, that the cave, that the feminine space is always relaxed, is always receiving, is always nurtured, and is always taken care of. When the masculine comes in from the physical world, from outside of the cave, to process, to connect through you to the void and to the divine, to bring things that you both need from the external world for you to process them into something of an actual 5D universal value, right? So he operates outside in this dangerous, ferocious, physical world that he understands better, because he's the provider, he's the protector, he's the action taker. He leads you in this world. If you would have to, for whatever reason, momentarily leave your cave, he would be that protector, right? So it's also it reflected in our physical bodies. And when you sit, and this is how he helps you to operate in that 3D. And what you do for him is you nurture him through that 5D connection, through connection to the void, through connection to the portal, helping him to understand his inner guru, his emotions, to process and to heal his emotions. You each have your own role. And I recently heard this I love this analogy, and this is my own, and I always use it. But I recently heard this one from a reproductive system, that it actually shows us the feminine and the masculine energy. So the egg sits there comfortably. It's just waiting. It's just making sure I am ready. I am the feminine egg. I am the female energy. I am ready. I'm making sure that that vessel, that container, is healthy, is nourished, feels comfortable, feels released, feels feminine, feels welcoming, feels magnetic. I'm sitting in my stillness. And there he is, my masculine, floating around, finding me. It is his job to get to the cave, to get to the egg, to find me, right? And to penetrate through the shield, being worthy enough of being welcomed and received in the feminine space. But it has to be vulnerable, welcoming, nourishing, having this enough energy of stillness and femininity to actually make him want to stay and feel comfortable enough so that merge can occur. And it's a beautiful analogy as well. Point number 8 is understanding that you're not against each other. Your counterpart from day one, it is subconscious, especially in the beginning, but from day one, they are there for you to help you to become whole. They are not trying to hurt you. They are not trying to get to you, to annoy you, to trigger you. It's happening on a subconscious level, because we are programmed to trigger each other, to be that reflection and to be that mirror, to show one another what is it that you need to heal, what is it that you need to process, whatever that you need to accept within you. What is the part of you that you are rejecting? Yes, everything that is external serves that purpose, but particularly in that powerful and meaningful connection that a twin connection is, your divine counterpart is that magnified mirror to show you the part of your psyche that you have been rejecting out of yourself, that it's been a blockage within you. So the sooner you understand that the counterpart is there to help me, and whenever they trigger, whenever they run, whenever they come back in the energy that you're not liking, thank them, because they are showing you what you still need to heal. Number 9, very short, work with a mentor. I always recommend this. It's been a game changer. When I started working with my mentor, I was very sad that it didn't happen until almost, I believe, 9 or 10 months in on a journey since I met my counterpart. But this is a journey, it's an extremely difficult journey. No one who has not been on it could ever comprehend. It's a journey of isolation, of solitude, right? It serves a purpose because it helps you to create that lone wolf energy, right? That will then be ready to live in a pack of the two of you. But it's a very, it feels alone. It feels like no one understands you, right? So it's so much misinformation that I always recommend working with a mentor. So choose whatever you gravitate towards, whether that's a reader or shadow worker like myself, or a healer, a Reiki healer, a shaman, whatever you gravitate more towards. But I recommend someone who knows the journey, who's been on a journey themselves, and who is already in the energy of inner union or already in union with their twin. Do not, I mean, do whatever you feel like doing, but I wouldn't recommend to working with someone that is farther along away the journey, but they're still lost on some level themselves, right? So try to listen to your intuition, ask for guidance, to be guided towards the mentor, the teacher, the person that will actually be able to help you on your journey. It's an extremely important thing, and it helps you to progress on your journey. And I strongly recommend this to the masculines. I read masculine energy. You know this if you follow me. But I think that not enough masculines ask for help. It's not a masculine thing to do that, but it would be extremely, extremely helpful for you on your journey to work with a mentor, a reader, a healer, or whatever that is. And number 10, and the last point, is follow your passion. So the Bashar's rule, right? And that goes back to focusing on you. Act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability with no expectation of an outcome. Because part of the journey is the fact that we each have our own mission. Together as a whole community of twins, we have a mission. As a pairing, we have our own individual mission. But as individuals, we each have a different mission. So you need to discover your mission. You need to follow your mission. And you do that through following your passion, your ignition, through releasing all the blockages that are stopping you from being your authentic self. Because what you need to understand, and it's very helpful, I find, for the masculines, your counterpart will never reject the authentic you. They love you. You are one. What they are rejecting or running away from is the mask, is the shadow, or sometimes the reflection of their own shadow. But when the two of you are in a state of authenticity, embodiment of love, of being who I am, not being ashamed of it, showing to the world who I am unapologetically, the other part of you, when it's healed as well, so your counterpart will never reject that. So follow your passion, follow your destiny, follow your path, whatever is it that you were meant, whatever is your mission. The sooner you discover it and you decide to just follow that through that journey of becoming the most authentic version of self, will help you as well. I hope this was helpful, and as always, if you have questions, leave them in the comments.